Okay, so just follow along with me for this dynamic lower body warm-up. If you'd like, you can hold on to a wall for some support, for some balance, but if you don't have to, try not to. So this is a good way to kind of challenge the stability muscles as well. So we're just gonna start with some high knees here. Try to keep the chest upright. We're gonna bring the knees as high as we can. From here, we're gonna bring the knee up, open up the hip, lower the foot down, and we're just gonna tap the ground, bring it back up and in. We'll do that a couple times. Again, you can hold onto a wall for some support. You can go slower than I'm going if you'd like to. Okay, one more. Switch sides. One. Good. From here, keeping the legs straight. I like to have just a slight bend to my supporting knee. We're going to keep a straight leg and lift it straight up, lower down. Lift up, lower down. You want to try to avoid rounding the back when you're in this position. So stay up nice and tall. One more. Switch sides. Okay, slight bend to the knee, spread the toes out on the ground, and keep the other leg straight, just kick straight up. Good. From here, we're gonna do the same thing but backwards, so we wanna keep a straight leg. You wanna avoid arching at the low back. So you want to keep your abs engaged, so do a little pelvic tuck, and we're going to bring the leg back. It might not go back very far. You want to try to keep your toes pointing forward. Two more. Switch sides. You should feel your glutes and your hamstrings fire up. If you're feeling your low back, it might mean you're going a little too far and you're using your low back to move into hip extension. So just make sure the abs are engaged as you're doing this movement. Good. From here, we're gonna take a wider stance. Okay. Get nice and low, and we're just gonna shift our weight from side to side to our low Cossack squats. Right? You don't have to go super deep with this. We're just trying to keep it dynamic. Get the blood flowing through the hips and knees. Right? And I think about pushing my hips back as I'm doing this, as if I'm trying to sit into a small chair. And get a little bit lower now. Keep breathing. Good. We're gonna point the toes out on a 45-degree angle. Keep the legs just slightly bent. Hands behind the head, and then you're going to pull your hips back into a good morning, leading with your sternum towards the ground. So here, pulling the hips back. You should feel a nice stretch on the back of the legs and the inner thighs into the hamstrings and adductors. And when we come up, we're just clenching our butt cheeks on the way up to engage the glutes. From here, we're gonna walk our feet back in, put the feet together, knees together, slight bend, and we're gonna do some knee circles. Good, change directions. More. Okay, and then the last one we're gonna do is our good morning, our elephant walk. So from here, slight bend to the knees, we're gonna hinge over our hips. So you wanna keep the back straight, pull the hips back, until you feel a stretch in the hamstrings. From here, you can always put your hand on a bench or a chair, or you can place it on your knees or just hang it down. What we want to feel is that tension. From here, we're going to straighten out one leg at a time and then come back. Straighten out the knee, come back. What you want to try to avoid doing is letting your hips swing from side to side. So we're keeping our hips stable and we're really just trying to overcome the resistance of the hamstring by straightening out the knee. Okay, just a few more. Okay, and then last one, we're just gonna get into a neutral stance and we're gonna do our squat. So you wanna drive the hips back and come down and just go as slow as you need to go just to get everything moving. All right, getting a little bit more depth each time. Two more. Good, and just shake it out. Should be nice and warmed up now.